So after months of prep work, the cab to my 1966 Chevrolet C10 is finally primed. This was my first prime/paint job on a full-size automobile with a paint gun. It was my first time building a paint booth. I had a good friend help me. We were out here for like 3 solid days getting this truck totally ready and getting the paint booth ready. And I just thought I'd share my tips and tricks that I learned along the way. And just, again, I'm not an expert. This was my first time doing it, but thought I'd share with you guys tips and tricks to DIY paint booth and just DIY painting in general. The first thing is prep work. Anyone who knows anything about painting will tell you that painting is 90% prep work and 10% painting. Well, that was true here too. We tried to not skip any steps, honestly. Even after we thought the prep was done, after going over it with a light, we still spent hours more getting rid of these small imperfections in the cab. I've also heard that the actual painting is the easy part. It's really not. I was out here, just in this part alone, I was out here for about an hour and a half shooting this, and I was exhausted. Before you do any painting, make sure you're wearing your suit, your respirator, your glasses, and make sure you're hydrated and all that stuff, because this consumes 110% of your being while you're doing it if you're trying to do a good job. And this is not perfect by any means. I made a lot of mistakes that I want to ask you guys about what I should do next time. Another important thing is make sure you test. So before I hit this at all, I kind of got the gun settings right, or I tried to by testing on this old fuel tank here. Another critical thing that helped me get this thing done was I had a good buddy with me the whole time. I was in here shooting and I was like, Coulter, I need more paint. And he was working as hard as I was out there, you know, mixing paint for me and just doing other stuff. Another critical thing is have like twice the amount of light you think you're gonna need. The lighting isn't too bad in here, you would think, but no, it's actually, once you get down to it, the more light you have, the better, because like if you have a good amount of light, you can actually see how thick you're spraying the paint on there. Like you can see if it's too dry or it's too wet. We constructed this paint booth in about a day. We used 1-inch PVC and its dimensions are 15 by 22 or so, something like that, by 9 feet tall. It was about $115 worth of PVC and connectors, $16 for this intake fan. Because it's thin plastic, we decided to use a fan on the intake, and this was also taped up there, it just fell down. And then we also have an exhaust. We just have 24 by 24 like house filters to filter through the air coming in. We also use 0.5 millimeter plastic. It's really thin stuff, it'll tear easily, but we wanted a lot of light to be able to come through it. And it was pretty inexpensive. I think we probably spent about $15 on plastic. So like I said, we used 1-inch PVC. I would recommend anyone doing this or constructing a paint booth this size, use something bigger, like at least 1.5 inches or something. Because we had to tape some of these poles to like just miscellaneous stuff we have around the shop, like the chair, just to hold it up because it would kind of wobble around. If you're painting something large like this, I would definitely recommend having a lot of space on either side so you can maneuver around. I didn't want to be up against the plastic, tearing a hole in it and stuff as I was painting it. So it was also nice because I was able to carry the ladder around without worrying either. So it was big and bulky. We also had a little door set up. We could have used a zipper. That would have been a lot better, but it was taped up in just like 3 areas so my buddy could come in and hand me more paint. We had our garage door open about halfway just for some fresh air to come in. We had the heat on 70 degrees because that's what our paint indicated. I used PPG's 2K high build primer, and like I said, next time I do this, I think I'm gonna do a lot better job. And there's some areas I'm actually very happy with. And the nice thing is, it's the areas that are gonna get seen the most is what I did the best on. Whatever you don't want paint on, make sure you really tape it up. We even had some paint escape, like there's dust kind of all over the shop. We had some paint escape. Make sure you tape it up really, really, really well because this stuff gets everywhere. I'd say the last important thing to mention is don't be too hard on yourself if it's not perfect. I was honestly very nervous going into this just because we had days and days and days of prep work just to lay down this, you know, the paint job over the course of an hour and a half. So it really is 90% paint, but the painting itself isn't easy either. So just go easy on yourself if it's your first time. No one's gonna be perfect. Take your time, have fun, and it'll be fine. This is my buddy Coulter who helped this whole process over the last 4 days. It's been some long days. Super important, give yourself way more time than you think you need to do this whole thing, because if you rush it, you're gonna see it. Doing this stuff right takes a lot of time, and a lot of money. I'm not afraid to say I am proud of this prime job. First time painting a car, it's not for everybody. We learned it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but turned out pretty awesome. I'm happy with it, and I need some body panels so I can start assembling and then do my actual paint. I have a question for you guys though. So I want a dark green metallic satin color. Problem is, when we tried to do that, when we did our test paint semi-gloss on the monster truck, it looked terrible. So how do you choose a paint color? I don't know. Like I know what color I want. I just don't know how to choose like a code, like the specific color, if that makes sense. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of the cab. We had to lift it off the chassis and move it about a foot back so I could shoot behind the engine here. But yeah, it's not orange anymore. It's one color. Thanks for watching this quick video, guys. I'm in a good mood because we got this thing done. Yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a thumbs up. It's going good. It's going good. See you next time.